Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome at the English news program here at Ora News. And now, tonight's news. For the first time, the Prime Minister of Albania, Edi Rama, has talked to the media regarding the scandal of the grand theft in the Central Bank of Albania. The Prime Minister declared that he will not ask the resignation of the governor, Ardian Fullani, since he leads an independent institution and the majority does not intend to start a political war. It is not true that we have been silent. There is a big difference between the government and civil society because our roles and responsibilities are different. Our responsibility is clear. For us, it is a serious criminal act that constitutes a triple challenge. It is a big challenge for the prosecution, which will go to the end of this investigation, but not in the traditional way of investigation that never ends, but in an intensive way which will bring to justice everyone involved. It is a challenge to the authority of the bank as well. I want to emphasize that the central bank is an independent institution, and I, as Prime Minister, cannot ask the resignation of the head of an independent institution. On the other side, it is a big challenge for the government and the Assembly, which means that both of them will have to analyze it, stated the Prime Minister of Albania, Edi Rama. The journalist of Ora News asked the Prime Minister regarding the return of 3 laws from President Bujar Nishani, and his answer was clear. The President's decrees will fall. According to Rama, the arguments with which Nishani rejected the laws approved by the majority in the Assembly are the arguments of the Democratic Party. Rama emphasized that the government does not attack the President and the institution he leads, and it will never do this, even though this is something that has happened with the previous governments. The President has the right to return the laws, but he should know that every decree will be returned immediately, because Albania does not have time to waste with the arguments of the Democratic Party that are being expressed through the President, added Rama. During the conference, the head of the Albanian government also accused the opposition, saying that this opposition has talked even more than the majority itself. Prime Minister Edi Rama also talked about the relationship of the government with the opposition, and explained his silence regarding the assault made to a member of the Democratic Party. I believe that incidents of verbal or physical violence in the parliament deserve to be punished. We have condemned, in accordance with the regulation of the parliament, all those, regardless of their political view, who are involved in cases of violence and behavior that do not honor the parliament and the people. I wish that such cases are not repeated, but when they happen, it is an individual responsibility. This is the opposition which has talked the most in these 23 years of democracy, and there is no attempt to silence it. The opposition has started a process of self-humiliation, and it lacks a strategy. It does not have a project or a platform. This opposition has no political project, and the only thing it does is accusing the government. At the first press conference after the summer holidays, the head of the Albanian government talked for over 2 hours, responding to the media and also to the questions made from citizens in social networks. The deputy of the Democratic Party, Gens Polo, released a media statement immediately after the conversation of Prime Minister Edi Rama with journalists in Albania. During his statement, the member of the opposition accused the head of state of not being transparent, since according to Polo, the Prime Minister did not give a direct answer regarding most important issues. Edi Rama put a mask on public communications today. Communication means to answer to the questions and to clarify things. But although the Prime Minister remained live and online for more than 2 hours, he gave no explanation regarding the most important issues of Albania. He refused to give clear answers to issues that concern the opposition. If Mr. Rama finds it difficult to respect the opposition because of his mentality, he should at least respect the public opinion, said the deputy of the Democratic Party, Gens Polo. During his statement, Polo also mentioned some issues for which, according to him, Rama did not answer. Why is he silent for 42 days when he is widely seen with facts that he has incriminated the parliament by giving the mandate of the deputy to a person convicted of prostitution traffic and kidnapping? Who has more value, a false criminal record or the decision of the Court of Rome? Why did he offer to CEZ 95 million euro in cash that will be paid by Albanians through bills, while the company owes $3 billion to the state? Why is he eagerly seeking the IMEI code of mobile phones of Albanians, allowing massive spying without limit when this is unacceptable in Europe, a place where Rama claims to integrate us? Why did he not consult with experts, stakeholders, international partners on the reform on justice when the United States of America, the European Union, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, the civil society, and the opposition requested it? How can you approve a new territorial map of the country without asking even a single Albanian resident and without formally receiving the consent of local communities as is stated in the Constitution? How can you explain that after a year in charge of the country, there have been no public investments, no construction of sites, and no new jobs? Why didn't he say a word regarding the tragic balance in mines, where in a year more than 13 employees have died? Why is the public administration incriminated with traffickers and kidnappers, starting from the district directorates to the leader of the regional council of Vlora? Why didn't he follow the decision of local courts and the constitutional courts, where some of the question asked from the deputy of the Democratic Party, Gens Polo? The shocking facts that prove the incrimination of the Parliament of Albania were made public 42 days ago. This was the statement made today from the coordinator of the Democratic Party, Silvi Bardhi. During a press conference, the coordinator of the biggest party in the opposition said that every citizen knows that Rama has opened the doors of Parliament to people with criminal records, such as Deputy Arben Doka. Every citizen of the country has learned that Edi Rama has opened the doors of Parliament to members of Parliament with criminal records, such as Arben Doka, sentenced to 7 years in prison for kidnapping and sexual exploitation. And every citizen of the country became witness of Rama's scenario of hitting and threatening the opposition. There is apparently a strong reason why Prime Minister Rama has introduced in Parliament deputies with criminal backgrounds, and that reason is to blackmail the opposition and to shut its mouth. But the letters are open, and the entire audience already knows the names, facts, and evidences, it is said in the statement of the Democratic Party. Further in the statement, Silvi Bardhi said that Edi Rama is silent for 42 days, despite the fact that he is the architect of scenarios of anti-opposition violence, despite that people with criminal records are today members of Parliament with his approval. Even though Prime Minister Edi Rama is silent for 42 days, the facts for the incrimination of the Parliament cannot be silent. The facts weigh more as time goes by, and the responsibility of the Prime Minister continues to grow. The President of the Albanian Republic, Bujar Nishani, held today a meeting with representatives of the civil society, invited by the head of state to consult regarding the document of strategy of national security. The head of state, considering the strategy of national security of the Republic of Albania a document of greatest importance and with broad national dimension, welcomed and praised its design and emphasized that consultation meeting with representatives of civil society who have an important role in sensitizing the public opinion and institutional behavior of Albanian society is very valuable in the process of reviewing this document. The participants, as expressed their gratitude for the invitation of the head of state, offered their thoughts and their specialized arguments and pledged to convey the need to increase social sensitivity among citizens. President Nishani praised their commitment, opinions, and specialized proposals as efficient. The former director of the issue department in the Central Bank of Albania, Dorian Cholaku, was interrogated today by the prosecution of Tirana in the presence of his defense lawyer. He gave his testimony before the prosecutor of the case in connection with the theft of 713 million lek. According to the prosecution, the interrogation aims to clarify the issue of these frequent trips abroad. After controlling TIM's system, resulted that the former Director of Treasury has made 34 entries and exits in the border. From these movements, it is known that 14 trips were conducted by the former Director of the bank, Dorian Ciolacu, only during the first half of 2014. The former director has his alibi about this fact after attending a master in Athens. However, the prosecution is conducting its investigations regarding this matter. The lack of reliable elements in the evidence given by the main accused for the theft, Ardian Pitre, has driven the investigation group to other verifications. Specifically, the prosecution is investigating for the destination of the money. The construction of a block of buildings in the area of the park of the artificial lake of Tirana without permission granted from the mayor, Luzin Basha, has led the Socialist Party to seek the mayor's resignation. The Socialist deputy, Vasilika Hysi, stated that Mayor Basha, by giving these permits to build in the park of the artificial lake, is destroying Tirana, forgetting the promise he made 3 years ago, exactly in this place, that he would build the largest sports park in the Balkan. The mayor of Tirana declared 3 years ago that he will build here the largest sport park in Balkans, said Hysi. And here we are today. He, like Sali Berisha, is providing the greatest lie. Not only is he not building the greatest park in the Balkans, but he is destroying it. And he is doing this exactly in the moment when he is ending his mandate, which he took by theft and not by elections. He has given permission to build palace here. We ask him to leave, to resign, because he did not keep any of the promises he made. According to her, Basha says that I did not destroy Tirana, but I planted 23,000 trees. We ask him to leave, because you did not keep your promises. We say that he is lying. He says that it's the fault of the government. We say that you abandoned Tirana. He blames the police. We say you are dealing with politics, when he said he would be available to citizens. He blames the parliament. The issue is that he abandoned all of you, and he is using his office for political affairs. We ask him today to resign, and that together with Sali Berisha, we can destroy the Democratic Party if they want, but not Tirana and the interest of the citizens. Tirana has not voted and does not owe this urban slaughter he is doing to it, concluded the Socialist deputy Vasilika Hysi. Permits issued by the municipality for the construction of several buildings at the park of the artificial lake of Tirana became the subject of protests by Socialist Party during the recent days. The first judicial process against Agron Tsame, the secretary of the Socialist deputy in Saranda, Kocha Kokdima, lasted over 2.5 hours today in the court of Saranda. He is accused of asking sexual relationship with minors and in exchange for a job. Tsane, already accused of sexual harassment against minors, protected by attorney Gergi Mere, said in the court that the event is a trap set to him intentionally. Elvira Gega, the woman who accused him, stands firm to the allegations made public against Tsane and has not changed her position. The court of Saranda has administered as evidence the videotaping of Elvira Gega. Saranda's sex scandal was published by the media a few weeks ago. In a video with no picture but only sound, recorded in secret, was registered the conversation conducted in the office of the secretary of the deputy Kocha Kokdima, Agron Tsane, with an unemployed widow with 4 children. In this conversation, Tsane asked to the woman, in exchange for a job, to have sex with her and her underage daughter. Elvira Gega, with the help of the media, denounced the case. Tsane was immediately arrested by the police of Saranda. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of Albania, Ditmir Bushati, received today the Vice Speaker of the German Parliament, Johannes Singhammer. Minister Bushati praised the importance of the visit of Singhammer and expressed his gratitude for the supportive role that Germany and its institutions have given and continue to give to Albania in its process of European integration and in other fields of bilateral collaboration. He also praised the excellent relations between Albania and Germany and reconfirmed the will of Albanian side for the further intensification of high-level political dialogue and parliamentary collaboration. Interlocutors talked about the perspective of Albania's membership to European Union, especially focusing on the steps and reforms that Albanian government are undertaking after granting the status of the candidate country toward talks for European Union membership. Interlocutors shared also their opinion for the importance of the regional conference of high level that will be held in Berlin under the direction of Chancellor Angela Merkel on the 28th of August as a direct expression of commitment and support of Germany for the region of Balkans and the process of European integration. The vice leader of German parliament said that now, 30 years after the opening of the doors of friendship from the former Prime Minister of Bavaria Strauss, is the time to exploit all the chances, emphasizing that Albania plays the role of an anchor of stability in the region. In this framework, he referred to Pope Francis' visit to Albania as an evaluation for the model of a peaceful coexistence of religious beliefs and freedom of religious practice in the country. The interlocutors exchanged their opinions for the security situation in eastern borders of European Union and Middle East. It is a project that has not started yet, but so far it was made known that Albanian drivers will pay their insurance depending on how they drive. Who makes more accidents will be forced to pay more money for the policy of insurance. According to the Vice Director of Financial Supervisory Authority, Mati Pepa, the first phase is completed and the goal is to increase the awareness of citizens when they are driving. This project involves the insurance companies because they will be the ones that will identify the quality of drivers by making an individual insurance and not the same as the others. However, the implementation of this project in the near future seems somewhat difficult because Albanians are not necessarily correct in relation to insurance, and secondly, because there is no system of driving license with points that would be the best indicator for every Albanian who runs a vehicle. The drowning of 2 people a week ago in the beach of Shëngjin has brought criminal proceedings for the head of the municipality of Shëngjin, Salvador Kachaj, on charges of duty abuse. In the announcement of the Lezhë police, it stated that the municipality of Shëngjin has not taken the necessary measures for the safety of tourists during the tourist season this year. Referring to the 2 recent events, police have launched investigation for the head of the commune, Salvador Kachaj, after the latter has not implemented the decision of the Council of Ministers for Beach Safety, which is the duty of the local government. Just 10 days ago, an 8-year-old child from Kosovo drowned in the Sea of Shëngjin. Another event happened on this beach just 3 days later, where a 50-year-old from Kosovo drowned in Shëngjin. After the launch of the investigations, Mayor Salvador Kachaj reacted. "I am not notified for the criminal proceedings launched against me, and I am not aware of it. It is being used by the police to damage the image of Shëngjin in the peak of the tourist season. The Coastal Agency has a duty to bring volunteers and watchwowers as it has acted in the southern beaches. This agency has not come to cooperate with the municipality of Shëngjin to set the group of volunteers, although the municipality has requested this several times. Based on our opportunities, we monitored the coast along with communal police, but in this tourist season has been an influx of holiday makers. I have no legal responsibility for the event that occurred, and I believe justice will speak the truth," said Kachaj. The director of the National Coastal Agency, Auron Tare, reminded to the coastal municipalities and communes in the country to take measures for the safety of life of vacationers to avoid the tragic events that occurred last month, as it is their legal obligation. According to him, the assistance that the national agency offers is just its initiative, providing a model to be followed by them. In a statement to Ora News, Tara said that the establishment of coastal guards and watchtowers in Albanian beaches is the duty of local government, which has emerged from the decision of the Council of Ministers for the safety and protection of vacationers of the beaches. It is a decision that until now has not been implemented or has been implemented very little by local governments and by businesses who rent public spaces. The events that occurred last month show that these serious events happened in those beaches where the municipalities and communes that are not prepared and did not take measures to protect the vacationers. The National Coastal Agency, seeing the lack of security on the beaches, had launched some pilot projects to establish and guard towers, which are obviously not enough to cover the entire Albanian coastline, which is too long. The agency is present with this pilot project in Rashbull, in Saranda, in Ndrimades, and Golem. Boys and girls have been trained and are on duty to ensure maximum safety to holiday makers on the beaches. But I want to emphasize that the Albanian coastline is huge and it is impossible to be maintained only with a pilot project, he stressed. So, it is impossible to monitor this entire coastline within few resources that are available today. But I would say that this great experience that has taken this year will make the National Coastal Agency more present in most of the coastline next year. At the Constitutional Court hearing, which happened today, Kosovo's two main political blocs argued about which one of them has the right to nominate the head of the parliament. The court hearing should pave the way for a ruling designed to end a political stalemate in Kosovo over the elections of a speaker and the formation of a new government. The Democratic Party of Kosovo is contesting the election of an opposition politician, Isa Mustafa, as Speaker of the Parliament. 3 months from the general elections, the election of a speaker is a matter of urgency, as only then can the Assembly proceed with elections a new government. The two major political blocs, the PDK and the bloc comprising the Democratic League of Kosovo, the Alliance for the Future of Kosovo and the Initiative for Kosovo, each claims the right to name the speaker. The Democratic Party of Kosovo says it has the right because following the general elections, it remains the largest single party in parliament with 37 seats. But the opposition bloc says it also has the right to nominate the speaker because together it has 47 seats. Arsim Bayrami, representative of the PDK in the hearing, said that the opposition bloc was not a legitimate caucus because it was formed after the general elections at the constituent session of the new parliament. Bayrami maintained that the constituent session where the bloc was established was of a technical and ceremonial nature, and the establishment of parliamentary group should have been done at another session of the Assembly. He asked the court to declare Mustafa's election unconstitutional and to give the PDK, as the largest parliamentary group, the right to nominate the speaker. The Democratic Party of Kosovo filed its complaint to the court about the procedures on July 18th, 1 day after Mustafa was elected to the post. Vjosa Osmani, representative of the LDK, AAK and Incentive Bloc, disputed Bayrami's argument. The nomination of Mustafa came from the largest parliamentary group, and the Assembly rules say a parliamentary group can be established with 6 or more deputies as long as they have informed the Assembly presidency, she said. Parliamentary groups are not certified before the elections, but they are rather established after the elections, she added. Albulena Hagiu of the opposition self-determination movement, which is closer to the opposition bloc than the Democratic Party of Kosovo, asked the court to declare the PDK requests unacceptable. The largest Macedonian political party, the Macedonian Social Democratic League, decided last night on the political strategy of this party after the summer elections. The Central Committee of this party unanimously decided to back the decision for the boycott of parliament and not to recognize the current government, along with a request for the formation of a technical government which would hold fresh elections. We're not going back to Parliament for as long as the talks with the government do not include all our 5 demands, including the one for a technical government. This meeting also backed the actions of the opposition for dynamic activities and strategy. The Macedonian Social Democratic League has also expelled from the party ranks 2 members of the parliament, Solva Grevca and Ljubica Buralieva, who didn't comply to the party's decision to give up on their mandates by returning to the parliament. The Macedonian Social Democratic League's decision have also been supported by other parties of the Macedonian political bloc. But, on the other hand, the current majority has refused the demand for a technical government and fresh elections, but it has accepted the other demands articulated by the opposition. And that was the English news edition prepared for the day. Have a great evening. Good night.